In this video, we're going to set up the view for our illumination rendering. In the previous videos, we've covered setting the orientation to true north, which we've done right here, making sure we've got the location set correctly, both as what city, and then rotating to true north. And then we've set our materials up, and now we're ready to set our view up. And so go to your whatever floor plan you want to use. I'm using level 2 floor plan. I'm just going to go to level 2. Oh, that's ceiling plan. Don't want to use a ceiling plan. Yeah, I'm on level 2 right now. So here's what I'm going to do is set a camera. The first thing I'm going to do is set a camera. Don't use sections, don't use floor plans, don't use any other type of view except a camera view. And it has to be set up in a specific way. So I'm going to go into views and set the camera view. Okay, so save project. I'm just going to cancel this right now. And now I'm ready to set the camera view. So I'm just going to click in here to set a view. But before I do that, see, I almost made that mistake again. I want to change perspective and uncheck perspective. I do not want this to be a perspective camera view. I want it to be an orthographic. In other words, all the rays parallel to the cut plane, picture plane. And then I might check my offset for the section that's going to be cut by the camera, and 1102. Level 02. So level 02, it's going to be cut. Let's just set it at a typical plan cut. Okay. By using this camera, we will keep all the geometry in the rendering process. Okay. So I'm going to click here, and then I'm just going to draw a target. I can't click right on top of it, so I have to go a target out somewhere. And then it's going to give me a clipped view. If check and see if you've got something really big in there, you may need to hide it. Here's my topography. I want to keep that topography surface. Okay, and you'll see it's kind of an elevational view right now. You may not be able to recognize that, but we're not going to set it by this. Well, first thing we're going to do is come in here and set this to a top view. Okay, and then we'll have to change our clipping. Make sure you go to a top view, and the reason I want you to go to a top view is to make sure that everything, you're parallel to all the vertical walls. Okay, see, you can see right now there's no perspective tilt to it because I've turned off perspective, and we're not off to the right or off to the left. We're looking straight down at it. What that did do, as you can see, I'm seeing the roof now. What that did do is change my eye elevation and my target elevation. So I'm going to go back and set this to 23.5 feet or 23 foot 6 inches, which is what I had before. And then I'm going to come in, 23.5 feet. Okay, and then elevation, I'm going to set this to 0. Okay, and that will keep it in a plan view. So I'm going to set that to 0. The next thing I'm going to do is make sure far clipping is active. Make sure that's clipped off. Okay, and then I'm going to apply that. And when I do, of course, it's going to move a little bit. So I'm going to remove my section cut here. Find my building. Find out where it is. Ah, there it is. Okay. Now, it may not have oriented it so that north, south at the bottom and north at the top. Don't try to reorient it. Just leave it like it is, render it as it is, and then when you use the rendering, you can turn it. You can rotate the image so that if you want this direction, true south being at the bottom and north being at the top. Okay, I just found that it's a real pain to try to correct if you try to orient it after you've set the view. We clicked on top view. We set the eye elevation to where we wanted the plan cropped. And then we turned off far clipping plane, and we're basically ready to render. Okay, and when we render this, you will get this right here. Notice there's no walls in here right now. They're not showing. They will show when they start rendering. Okay, the boundaries of those walls will show. The mullions will show. So anything that's not seen here is okay. Don't worry about it. When it renders, it will render. Also notice I left in a topography surface so that the outside radiation would set the top boundary of this. You may want to make sure that you have a completely dark space so that the blue sets the boundary, the lowest boundary, the 0 level. Okay, then you're going to go render it. In the next video, I'm going to show you how to set up the rendering and render it.